Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Heckma Harrison, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Good afternoon, Cowboy Nation, and welcome to the Taj Mahal of football. We are here in the SWBC Mortgage Studios, home of your Dallas Cowboys here in Frisco. I'm Heckma Harrison. The truth is in the booth, and obviously the star of the show, Mickey Spagnola, is here. Mickey, it's Thursday. I'm going to get you used to answering this question on Thursdays.
All right.
Mickey, how are you doing today?
2 out of 4 ain't bad here.
2 out of 4 ain't bad? But you got to answer my question.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing better.
Doing better?
Yes.
You know, the people, you got a lot of fans, a lot of followers, a lot of people want to know what's going on with Mickey Spagnola, and you have been wearing that brace all week long. I don't know what's wrong with you. So, because your hand is swollen. I've been looking at your fat fingers.
You're tired of seeing that.
I just want to know.
I need this cover to do the whole
thing. Mick, what did you do to yourself?
Well, initially, I thought I fractured a bone in my hand.
Okay.
And the hand specialist read the x-ray and said, no, you didn't do that. You got some degenerative stuff going on in your hand that you irritated. Okay. And it caused my hand to swell up and sore. And
so the story goes, you were powerlifting.
That's right.
What did you do?
Or I started bowling left-handed.
Yes,
right.
Something happened. What were you doing to do that?
It's a dumb story.
We ain't got number time.
I was trying to carry something with my left hand, and it irritated it.
That's all that happened.
Well, it was one of the rolling garbage cans.
Yeah, the kind you just push down and push
you pull out and bend it. And when I went to bend it down, it didn't bend because it was really heavy, and it bent.
And you did
it
that?
Bent my hand. Yes.
Mickey.
See, it's not a good story. I like the left-handed bowling.
Mickey,
thing, right?
I would have made up something.
I know.
That's what happened.
I've been trying.
That's what swole you up like that?
Yeah. And,
my man.
And a little old age, probably.
And to go with the degenerative stuff.
Yeah.
Well, look, I know.
So I'm no longer going to be able to do a two-handed backhand, okay?
Dude, you were swole up. I don't know what you did. It's pretty bad.
It's down now.
Is it?
Oh, you should have seen it on the weekend.
How is that? I'm a right-hander. You right-handed?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you're good. You're still functioning.
Here's what you find out.
Okay.
There's a hell of a lot of things you need two hands to do.
Yes, sir.
And you don't realize it until you only have one hand, right?
Yeah, so you're limited.
Oh, yeah. Or slower, let's put it that way.
So
takes more time.
Okay, so typing.
Very difficult. Sunday night after the game, I was doing a lot of picking and pecking one-handed, or just with my right hand and, doing what the left hand was supposed to do. It took a while. I take a long time to write.
Oh, man.
This took even longer.
So now you're back to the old, so you're just pecking away at it like that?
Although these fingers are working better, so the only thing that doesn't work is the thumb key to hit the space bar.
Wow. Well,
I thought of dictating, right?
Yeah.
But if you do that, like on a program.
Yes, of course.
So back in the day when we used to dictate on deadline, right? You didn't have time to get to the office. You'd, paragraph, read the sentence, period, new graph, right? Well, if you do that and somebody's listening to it, it's going to put period.
Of course.
Right? And then you got to go through the whole thing to correct it. So I just picked and pecked.
Dude, it's so much stuff out here now that could dictate things for you perfectly.
But you can't do that part of it, right?
No.
It's not going to put the paragraph in.
No.
Or it's not going to put the period or the quotation mark in, right?
Dude, there's something out there that
it's going to read what you say.
No,
right?
not completely. Now, I'm telling you, technology has advanced to a point now, Mickey, where you'll be able to
All right, well, somebody send me that app.
Okay, I think I got a few suggestions.
All right.
I'm going to get them going for you. Now, in your notebook, and we're going to start with that, Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs has asked the question to his defensive coordinator. if he could play more zone. And your thoughts on that as reports came out that was a question that Trayvon Diggs is like, look, enough of this zone stuff. Can you put me in man? Your thoughts on that in the notes you took?
Well, let's go back to the Bears game. 3rd and 8. He went up to the line of scrimmage to play man, and he fell down.
Right.
Remember that play?
I do.
Okay. So as Everson has preached to us on and on, it's harder to play man than it is zone.
Right.
And so, it's not just all about him. It's about getting everybody else ready to go. And a lot of, he hasn't played any football. No one wants to factor that in. Everybody's saying, well, he's got a knee. Okay, fine. He spent time last week on the stationary bike during practice. He was limited, right? So they didn't start him. And, it's getting interpreted as he got benched. I looked at it as they were trying to regulate his snaps. And the third possession, he went out there at cornerback. The first 2, they had Diggs and Elam, and then Reddy Stewart when they went to nickel. And then they finally switched it up. And they actually, when he went in, they played Bland into nickel a couple snaps, but then they ended up going back to Reddy. So I just think he's got to play better. And be able to play more than, I don't know what he had, 20, 25, 30 snaps.
Right.
And here's the other thing on all these other stats that come out about, well, his percentage of coverage or whatever that yardage thing was.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're playing zone, are you responsible for who you're responsible for? Who makes that decision? Right?
Right.
Because you're probably not covering the guy you lined up across from 10 yards deep or 5 yards off the scrimmage. If that guy goes inside, you're not going inside with him.
No.
Do you get charged for those yardage?
No, I mean, I guess the bigger question when you say playing time, Trayvon Diggs hadn't missed any game time this season, correct?
Well, he's played limited on a limited
Of course, coming back from the knee graft, all of those expectations.
Exactly.
Mickey, is what you're talking about more related to the offseason than it is what you're talking about, what's happening right now?
Because he hadn't played, and so he limited himself physically getting ready to play football.
Okay.
But not the physical part, the ability to get back and play.
How long do you think he's going to wear that? How long, as far as this season, as this season goes along?
Yeah.
How long do you?
I think it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Okay.
You start playing like Trayvon Diggs.
Okay.
And your heart into it also. Now it sounds good. Now you got to perform.
Yeah.
And when Bland got back, the same thing with him. It's like he missed 2 games? This was the first game he played, right?
Yes.
Are you going to sit there and analyze, coming back from injury, oh, he did this or he didn't do this, right? It takes a while to get back to play football.
Yeah.
And that's why they kind of regulate their snaps to begin with. So now I think it's getting closer to having your maybe top 3 guys out there. If Elam's considered one of the top 3.
He's all you got.
Right? and then Reddy Stewart.
Yes.
Right? So those are your 4 guys you're playing. So I think you got to mix and match. But obviously the assignments have to be better. You're going to see Wanye Thomas starting at safety for Hooker. It sounds like he's probably out a couple weeks. And then the linebackers have to play better too if you're going to play zone. So the whole zone is not always on the corners. It's
everybody.
It's that back 7, right?
And they have to communicate better, and that's been one of the main things that you've heard Coach Eberflus talk.
I think that's improved. But I think that just knowing what you got to do. What you got to do. Now you got to do it, right? You got to carry out your assignment. So, Eberflus talked about it. He was doing his deal just before or still doing it probably when I came down. And he basically said, yeah, Diggs came to me. He said, I value his opinion, but we've got to grow as a group, not just
that gets 10 other guys out here.
Yeah, right. It's not just you, dude. Okay, you
10
go
other
play.
guys.
Well, you go play man, and everybody else will play zone.
Hey,
right?
Deion Sanders, ask him about that.
Right? Yeah. So I think there's a lot more to it, but I think it's just getting back to playing football, and he just hasn't done that much over the last. Well, think about it. I don't remember how many games he missed the year before with the ACL.
It happened late, so I believe it may have been 5 or 6 games.
Okay.
That he missed.
And then last year it was the knee again,
Yes.
the other knee.
Almost the entire season felt like.
Yeah, and he tried to play through it and then sat out, then came back, and then they put him on IR. And then he had surgery, and it was a serious surgery too. It was complicated.
Yes.
So, they just got to get him back to playing his brand of football, regardless if they're in man or if they're in zones.
I agree with you,
My
but
feelings on that.
Mickey, I think that a part of his game is confidence, and he can't be confident the way that he's been playing. You talk about the 3rd and 8 play against the Chicago Bears where he tries to get hands on, he misses, he stumbles, and the guy burns him for a touchdown. And there isn't something that we've been seeing from Trayvon Diggs since he had the knee injury. But this weekend, this Sunday, he has Garrett Wilson, a wide receiver that is really all the Jets have, and they're going to try and hit him deep, and you're going to need Trayvon Diggs to come into this game to at least be a percentage of that confidence that you're used to seeing.
You may see Bland on him instead of Trayvon Diggs.
Really?
Well, Bland, when he's healthy, right, at this point, he's your number one corner. And here comes our number one corner.
Yes.
So it could be.
Nice segue.
It may not be, you may be playing sides. They may choose who he's up against.
I think it's.
Or you can flip and say, okay, when he's on that side, Deron Bland's over there, or Diggs is over there.
And I'm just going back to what you're saying. These guys having game time, and the same goes with, getting on the field and playing. The same thing I believe applies with Deron Bland, him coming back from injury also. And not to mention, he was on the pitch count last week also. So that's not mentioned enough when people talk about Trayvon.
Yeah,
Diggs.
and we go back to it. You can play man, you can play zone, but who's playing it? You got a bunch of backups out there? And I thought Eberflus pointed it out. Somebody asked him scheme versus personnel. And he goes, well, from an injury standpoint, we need some consistency because we haven't had the same guys available out there the entire time. Now they're getting closer to it, yes. Right? Kalen Carson, they started his 21-day window coming off of IR to see when he's ready. Now, again, he's still on non-football injury.
Wow.
They're going to be careful with him. He hasn't played any football in a year, which he reminded me of the other day.
That's a narrative.
Can I introduce you? Super Bowl champion Everson Walls is in the building, walking in fashionably late.
Stop, man.
which by the way, one of the top 52 guys in the seniors committee evaluation for the Pro Football Hall of Fame right now.
I think I finally saw something.
You saw it?
My family.
You're in there.
I think somebody had put, he made it to the Hall of Fame. And then
that's right.
Everybody slow it down.
You along with Don Meredith, Harvey Martin, Too Tall Jones, and Leroy Jordan.
Man.
5 of you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you're battling.
Too Tall Jones.
You're battling each other maybe to get a Cowboy
Harvey Martin,
in
there. Man, about time.
Right?
I mean, that's a guy. And I talk to media people all the time about Harvey Martin. I'm from Dallas. He's from Oak Cliff. And, man, just watching him play before I even became a teammate, the way he lit things up, co-MVP with Randy White in the Super Bowl. He had his issues before he passed on, before he retired, after he retired. But, man, you look at a guy who brought that much to the Cowboys. And I asked media guys, and they go, oh, no. And I'm thinking, why the hell not? Yeah. Don't just blow off a guy who had over, I guess, they started chopping off his sacks. I don't know how many he has. It's got to be over 115 sacks in the NFL. And you got guys in there with less than 100.
Yeah.
And he's not even considered, and I'm sorry, when you start just picking and choosing and saying, oh, his guy has no chance, why not? Why would he not have a chance? I think he's been to 3 Super Bowls, and he won at least one.
South Oak Cliff's own Harvey Martin.
South Oak Cliff's on, man.
Yeah.
He was here before all of us was here.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping
Jerry and all of them.
And I'm hoping that Leroy Jordan didn't need to pass away for everybody to remember his
That's
name
usually
and
how
how good he was,
That's
right?
how it goes.
So
Everson, don't deflect. You just heard. I mean, I know you went to Harvey Martin and everybody else, man. But how does that, as a guy that played this game and did accomplish what you accomplished? I mean, it's hard to ask you this question because I know how much football, period, means to you. But to be considered amongst the greatest,
I've been considered so many times that it just
Doesn't even-
falls on deaf ears now.
Wow.
Because of just the consideration. It was exciting, back 20 years ago. I was only up for modern day once, and because I just didn't get the support that most players get from their teams, and that's just facts. And so when you start talking about, hey, man, aren't you excited? Well, man, I was excited 20 years ago, 19 years ago, 18 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. I've been through this already. Love the appreciation. There's no doubt about it. But from what the history shows that it just doesn't go anywhere.
yeah,
there's only so many times you can have your heart
Yeah,
broken.
exactly.
Well, look at it this way. You went from a group of 162 to 52.
Right, here we go. Here we go.
Now they've got to cut to 25, then 9, then 3.
I got to tell you the funny story. When I was up modern day, and, we're in there, we got tequila flowing in the room with my family, Minnesota, we're having a good time. And they said, well, when you're in there, make sure, keep your door closed because we're going to come knocking. And if we, they said, if we knock, I think they said something like, if we call you, then you didn't make it. If we knock, you made it. Well, as soon as they gave me the instructions on how this goes, I got a phone call like 5 seconds later saying you didn't make it.
Oh, no.
They said, can we see you down in the lobby, because they're going to go to the NFL honors deal, right?
Right.
And, man, I stayed up there and had me a couple of shots. Man, where am I going? What are they going to do? Not put me in because I'm late?
Right.
So then when I finally got on there, everybody like, oh, man, we thought you made it. Man, you should have made it. I'm like, man, we all should make it.
Yeah.
Everybody on this bus should make it.
Right.
So, that was, I thought that was so funny. Like, okay, here it is, guys. Uh-oh, wait a minute. What's this called? Hey, Everson, just bring your stuff down. Okay, thanks.
Well, at least you're in the one section at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
What's that?
The Black College Hall of Fame.
Yes. No,
the HB.
I have. Yeah. I'm on every Hall of Fame but this one.
Right.
And the Ring of Honor.
And by the way, I don't think I remembered to send it to you, but on our massive road trip this summer, we stopped at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I took your pictures on the walls.
Yeah.
I took your picture, Nate's picture.
Right.
And I was supposed to send it to you.
We're all over
But you're still up there.
Yeah, we're over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's game plan against Buffalo. I'm in there for the Super Bowl. So I'm in there.
Right.
I'm a Hall of Fame adjacent.
Jason.
That's the perfect time to break. We'll take our first break and come back with more Mick Shots after this.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Look, school is starting and I'm just a kid. And let's be honest, I'm not going to shop for myself. But we can get up to 40% off back-to-school essentials on Uber Eats. Did I mention I need poster board for my science fair, lunch for my field trip, and unlined note cards for my history quiz tomorrow? Or were they lined? Anyway, Uber Eats has all the back-to-school stuff on there. So come on, let's order now on Uber Eats and get up to 40% off. We're cool, right? Cool.
Not literally everything. Promotion ends 9/16. It is subject to change or cancellation. Exclusions may apply. Check app for availability.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, Cowboy fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience the best sports venue in the world, AT&T Stadium. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
Yeah.
Mark your calendars for Tails and Touchdowns, the first ever Dog Days Out event presented by Farmer's Dog. Join us at the Tostitos Championship Plaza at the Star in Frisco on Sunday, October 12th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for a tail-wagging good time. Admission is free and all dogs are welcome. Bring your pup and their leashes out for Sunday Fun Day. Don't come out there without your dogs on the leash. Somebody have a problem.
Well, back here for the second segment of Mick Shots. Everson giving
very
dog
clear
rules.
about that. And leash.
Make sure you have that leash.
That leash, that's right.
Man, talk about the guy you need not to take the leash off of, and you had the leash off of him last week. That's George Pickens.
Mm-hmm. I love the way he played.
Yeah.
I was talking about during the break how poised he seems to be at this point. Everything seems pretty effortless. He hadn't really had to show his 50-50 ball skills, from a steady standpoint. And I like how he's just really picking his spots. If you don't press him, then he's gonna tear you up. You got to get in his face. You got to do things to make him think about something else. But right now, he and Dak are almost connected as one, and that's what you want from your new number one wide receiver.
Off-season work. Right?
There you go.
He was here the whole time.
There you go.
Playing football.
Playing football.
Just going to emphasize that.
Ain't too much, man.
I know. It's kind of what we're talking about with Diggs. I don't know what the deal was on his workouts and things of that nature, but I want to be around my boys. I want to practice with them. I want to be where it's familiar, and not. It's not for them to see. It's for me. It's for me as a player. I just want them to know that I have their back. And just because he's not there does not mean that he does not have their back. But it just when you are a team, inclusion is part of it. And I was wishing he could have included himself on this offseason workout.
When you were talking about what Pickens was doing, I remember in training camp, we'd see him make these catches, right? And the ball didn't have to be on the numbers, right? He can catch it here, up high, low, whatever. And you saw him catch that low one.
Of course.
And Schottenheimer, when we asked him about it, he goes, and I believe it was Schottenheimer. It could have been Dak, but I thought it was Schottenheimer. He said, if they're in man on him, he's open.
He's open.
He open right now.
Yeah.
Wherever he is.
When you read the defense, right? If they
right
want to go man, he's open.
And it's not just...
And he's smooth. He's not... You know how a lot of guys, when they run hard, they got all this motion.
Yeah, all the action.
Everything's going, flopping around. Mm-hmm. And he's just smooth down the field.
Those are the hardest ones to cover because there's no tell. When the guy has a lot of action, eventually with that action, he's going to have to slow it down and make a move. So it's predictable. When you have a guy, Steve Largent, guys like that, where the gait, we talk about Henry Elliott, the gait is the same. Every route looks the same. The pace is the same. Then you can't anticipate. You can't look for a tell. And the next thing you know, he's got that plant foot in the ground, and he goes one way or another. You know what I'm talking about with your son being a wide receiver?
Yes.
These are the kind of things that are the nuances of being a wide receiver. Drew Pearson, same guy. He was pigeon-toed, right? So you're watching him, and you're looking at those legs, you look at his hips, and next thing you know, he's gone. Next thing you know, he's gone. Next thing you know, he's by you. And those are the kind of things that it just drives a DB crazy because there is no tell on the route.
Let me give you guys some information here on this Jets matchup. The last time George Pickens faced the New York Jets was last season. Russell Wilson, 16 for 29, 2 touchdowns. Remember Russ? Yeah. 264. George Pickens went 5 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. So
on Sauce?
They didn't travel. So it was either side, even though they had some highlights showing him against Sauce, they matched up well, but everybody, he burned them down. Didn't matter. 5 for 11 and a touchdown shows you how explosive he was in that game. And the deep ball was what really killed the Jets that day versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. 37-15 in a win. The Pittsburgh Steelers win that game. And the Jets this season with Aaron Glenn, they're completely different makeover as far as the team is concerned. As far as the philosophy that he's starting to bring. They have a new offensive coordinator, a young coordinator that's come in, and he's trying to keep guys like Justin Fields on time. Defensively, they have Steve Wilkes is their defensive coordinator.
Anything different there?
Literally, they're playing some mixing up just like Eberflus, man with zone. But when you have a big body in the middle like Quentin Williams and a defense like that, they depend a lot on that line, on that defensive line to stop them. They just hadn't been able to do it, which is surprising for a Steve Wilkes defense.
Here's what I like. Pickens, AFC. So this is his wheelhouse. He plays against these guys all the time.
He knows them well.
Yeah.
He knows them well.
He knows them well. So it's going to be some action going on out there. It's going to be some scores that need to be settled. Sauce might be feeling some kind of way about how Pickens got him last time. That's going to be a nice matchup, not just against Sauce, but that entire Jets secondary because they remember me.
Yeah,
if
of course.
I'm Pickens, you remember me. Here I am. I'm back. And I can't wait for that emotion to come out in this game.
Well, if they remember him, then they're going to put 2 guys on.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Because it looks like Turpin might not make it back for this game. He did not practice. He's got a foot injury, and he could be out. So what are you looking at? Pickens, Tolbert.
No, that's a big disappointment.
And Flournoy.
There is a lot of disappointment with that injury report that came out yesterday. There were a ton of names. Tyler Smith was on there. There's a lot of different names, but Kevontae Turpin being one of those names that was on. Man. It really does, and it affects. Big. You see how he affected that Green Bay game with that big run, and we've gotten used to that. We're so spoiled.
But there was a holding call.
Right.
So they had 7 guys that did not practice. Booker, CeeDee Lamb, we knew that, right? We sort of knew Miles Sanders was going to be out. But then when you see Guyton, it's still in concussion protocol. Now that's 3 starters on the offensive line. And then all of a sudden Tyler Smith shows up on it with a knee. And then Turpin, and you're starting going, it's getting a lot of thin on offense.
It is.
And we rely on the offense to keep us in the game.
Right.
So the Guyton thing, if he can't go, that's 3/5 of your offensive line.
I feel so much better about Nate Thomas than I did before.
But I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Nate would be the.
It was intentional that he got the at least 1 series, maybe 2 at right tackle for Steve. I think it was 2 because they were preparing him, and then he had to go to the left side in overtime, and I thought he played well. He played well during training camp.
No, you talk well about him during training camp.
I just like for a guy that hadn't played football since 2023 because he spent all last year on injured reserve.
He does not look like that.
No, and big man, and he's pretty strong. Yeah. So lacks experience. Obviously, you can get taken advantage of. But when I saw that deal, and it's like, oh boy,
that's a kudos to Will McClay and his staff for making that decision between Nate Thomas and the other left tackle that they had. They traded away late. What was his name? The left tackle. He was
awesome.
Richard, yes, my man.
Name.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, him. Awesome. Forgot about him that fast.
Yeah, but I remember that name.
But everybody was kind of
Right,
wondering
because
how
there was somewhat of a competition.
Absolutely, because you thought that Awesome Richards had the leg up on him, and then Nate Thomas steps in, and he does a good job. And that's the thing in this. I don't know how it's going to work out on game day, but hearing that Tyler Smith may be ready to go, even with the ankle, and maybe Guyton. But again, the confidence level with Nate Thomas is there. I tell you where else I'm confident is in that center and right guard. Not a lot of people talked about the job that T.J. Bass and come on now.
They highlighted it on
what?
One of the sports shows. They highlighted.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
The play between the two of them.
Yeah,
great mindset.
They had both of them right there. Yeah.
And we probably just take this for granted, but there was a reason when Schottenheimer put his staff together that Clayton Adams, an offensive line coach, became the coordinator. And then they brought in And then they brought in a offensive coordinator from Kansas State who was an offensive line coach to be the offensive line coach.
We covered that right here.
Right? Remember we talked it?
We sure did.
And they doubled down on the coaches on the offensive line, and maybe they have done something. You know, coaches really never get credit for doing good. It's always like, well, they screwed up. What are they doing? Well, they had these offensive linemen ready to go. And including Thomas.
They had the coaches. Like you said, they had the coaches ready.
Right.
They had the ones in place that they felt comfortable with, whose resume is stellar. And you guys called it. You and Bill talked about this. This was early in Mick Shots about how we're going to be running this ball.
And they have.
We're going to be running this ball.
You know, they're not Saquon Barkley running it, but they've 4 games in a row with more than 100 yards rushing.
We're running better than Saquon right now.
Well, he's struggling.
Saquon right now, that's right.
Well, that's because everybody's. No, you're not doing this to us anymore.
No, but that is safe to say. Isn't that something? I bet you coming into this season, you wouldn't have thought that when you're talking about running games, but the Cowboys are right now.
Right.
They're running game where the Philadelphia Eagles are.
A concerted effort, as we talked about, to get the personnel in there, get the coaches first. Get the culture that we talked about, starting with that running culture again, and it's working. That's something, sometimes it's hit or miss. And this time it worked.
And he's done that, Schottenheimer, wherever he's been an offensive coordinator. There's been a priority on running the football.
You love it when a plan comes together.
And it did.
That's right.
And if you look at when they opened the game, I know they went 3 and out, but it was 3 run plays.
Yeah.
Right? Even on 3rd and 4. And the second series, they ran the ball 1, 2, 3 times, I think.
When you look at Dak's play, we can talk about how well he's doing this. Oh, he looks different. Well, that running game helps a lot. It doesn't seem like it at the time because he's been throwing so many passes. He's got the attempts. He's got the yards and all that. I think that's because the timing is good. The play calls are timely to where we got him on the ropes with Javonte, and here all of a sudden now you got to worry about Pickens.
Yeah.
Now you got to worry about CeeDee Lamb. That's how you get your 40 points a game.
Well, now the Jets might have to worry about the Cowboys are going to go blue, right?
Well, hey, we're going to stick a pin in it right there and take our last break and come back with the final segment talking about Blue and what he can do this Sunday against the Jets.
What Blue do for you?
All right, I see you.
You see, I got the band with me. We'll be right back with more Mick Shots.
Look, school is starting and I'm just a kid. And let's be honest, I'm not going to shop for myself. But we can get up to 40% off back-to-school essentials on Uber Eats. Did I mention I need poster board for my science fair, lunch for my field trip, and unlined note cards for my history quiz tomorrow? Or were they lined? Anyway, Uber Eats has all the back-to-school stuff on there. So come on, let's order now on Uber Eats and get up to 40% off. We're cool, right? Cool.
Not literally everything. Promotion ends 9/16 and is subject to change or cancellation. Exclusions may apply. Check app for availability.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mick Shots.
Go.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Get behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium, meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on October 18th at AT&TStadium.com/rallydays.
Look who else decides to show up
And he just
for a Mick shot.
messed up the whole flow, too.
He
What do you mean? Got me in trouble
pours
with
into
Chris.
the studio. That's how Bill walks. Have you watched him? Like, he pours. He doesn't walk.
No.
He pours.
And he brings reading material.
It's like syrup. He just kind of
eases into it. So he poured his way into the studio.
I left my stuff in the TV studio.
No way.
Well, what is that?
What is that?
Oh,
Gone
yeah.
with the Wind? What do you got?
Marty Ball.
Marty Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Marty
Right on.
Ball. It's
Nice.
the life and triumphs of Marty Schottenheimer.
Did you get that from the library?
It looks like it does.
It's stamped at the top.
It's due back Friday.
No, it says thrift books.
Yeah. I bought it online this
Way to
offseason,
go, Bill.
as a matter
nice,
of fact.
man.
And I tell you what, let me recommend this book to any and all of you out there. With I read it. I read the chapter 1 last night. I had read it in the off season, and I asked Brian Schottenheimer just now, what was your favorite moment in New York when he was the offensive coordinator of the Jets? And he immediately said, San Diego game.
Yeah.
And it was in 2009 AFC divisional playoff game. Marty Schottenheimer, his dad, had been fired by the Chargers after a 14-2 season 2 years earlier in 2007. And so the Jets are playing the Chargers in the divisional playoff game, and it comes down to a 4th-and-1 play at the 29-yard line. Jets have a 17-14 lead, and Brian Schottenheimer calls 40 blast, which was right over the right guard, which is exactly Marty didn't call it that didn't have that same name for the play. I think it was Power O. In fact, he wanted on his tombstone to say Marty Schottenheimer Power O.
Yeah.
So Marty is coaching the East-West Shrine game in Orlando, Florida. He can't be at the game. He's watching on television in a bar in Orlando. Brian's wife and mom are at the game at Qualcomm Stadium, and it comes down to that. They got to get 1 yard to beat the team that fired Marty Schottenheimer, his dad, and he calls 40 blast, and Thomas Jones gets 2 yards. They win the game and go to the AFC
Thomas
Championship
Jones.
game.
Wow.
I mean,
What a name.
It is really cool the way this author, Jeffrey Flanagan, the way he set it up. It's all chapter 1 in this book.
That's the first chapter?
That's the first chapter.
Oh, wow.
But he painted the picture of where everybody was watching the game and
what it meant.
And yeah, exactly. And Brian's sister, Kristen, who apparently knows more football than anybody in the family. She's back home and wherever she lived in North Carolina or someplace and watching it, and it's really cool.
So Bill,
I'm peddling a book.
Let me catch you up. So basically, we've talked about Aaron Glenn, his coaching staff, personnel. We got to Wilson, talked about Sauce Gardner. We talked about what George Pickens has already done versus the Jets. 5 catches, 111 yards last season and a touchdown. So big plays are open. And then just as you were coming into the studio, we were about to get to Blue.
Oh, there's one.
There's a
Okay. I was looking for pictures.
You're looking for. You finally got one.
got
You
one.
finally got a
Okay,
picture.
all right,
And we got to blue, and now we're talking about blue. So
All right. So that's,
what can
that's
blue
where we
do
left
for
off
you?
yesterday.
What can
blue do for
do
you?
for
This
you?
is the thing now.
I thought it was brown. What can brown?
we
do?
switched
Well,
it.
no,
We
changed
switched
it,
it.
man.
We switched
Come on, man. This is
My
what
boy
we do
Blue.
here.
It's not a sideline promotion.
So, okay, Mickey wasn't here when we were talking about blue yesterday.
No, he wasn't.
No.
So he poured into the
So
conversation.
you're excited about blue playing?
Well, when I see that Miles Sanders probably not going to play, Gavante Turbin probably not going to play, where are you going to get your speed from? Mm-hmm. Got to go blue. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to probably get him going. And maybe even the return kickoffs.
Yeah, I would expect for the role to increase for a lot of guys.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it definitely
Because of-
return kickoffs, right?
Yeah, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the special teams coach is probably talking right now.
All right. I'm happy.
And we
So is he your pick to click? A tease for tomorrow?
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what you're
No.
thinking. No, that's what he's
No,
thinking.
I'm not.
Speaking of
Remember, I was the one that I said temper your enthusiasm.
Yes, that was all day yesterday.
That was what I said
That's-
yesterday.
Going through your iPad, finding other fourth rounders, maybe
that's
other
right.
people
Or-
try to compare to college careers. I was like, damn,
Guess
Bill,
who? Guess who?
Texas hate runs deep. I was like, this man's not gonna stop. Got the Bucky Irvin's Oregon, everything.
No,
I
I would
couldn't
say
believe the
if it was
depth
Bijan
you went
Robinson,
to prove your
If it
point
was
yesterday.
Bijan, I'd say play
Wow.
Yeah, of course. You
Yeah.
the get-go. Yeah,
But I felt that.
that's funny.
My pick to click's going to be the NFC Special Teams Player of the Month that we named 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I thought you couldn't pick him.
Is that official now?
When I was on the radio, they told me.
Okay.
He
You know who's kicking for the Jets?
former Cowboy.
Nick Folk.
Yeah, Nick
yes.
Folk.
Nick
Yeah,
Folk,
yeah.
41-year-old Nick Folk. And by the way, he's kicking very well.
Yes.
Aubrey is 9 for 9 on field goals this season, 4 for 4 beyond 50. Well, Nick Folk is 7 for 7 on field goals and 4 for 4 beyond 50 yards at age 41. And over the last 3 years, beyond 50 yards, he's the best in the league as far as his percentage, 15 for 16 beyond 50 yards the last 3 years.
He grew up.
You know, you remember,
He grew
you remember
up.
when
Yeah.
he couldn't kick the ball?
Remember that Buffalo game?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a moment to where he was like a second baseman that couldn't throw to first base. He was.
Chuck Knobloch.
There you go. I
Yeah.
didn't want to say it. But he would kick it and it would just take off. Remember? He was doing this in.
I mean,
in-
he was
in-
good enough to win the job.
That's a rookie.
But this is before he
fifth-round
got
draft.
that job. He would in warm-ups, I recall, it was a Monday night game, and they were looking at him kick before the game, and his kicks would all slice.
Well, that one Monday night game I'm talking about at Buffalo, where Romo threw how many picks in the first half? 5 picks in the first half, and the Cowboys came back and won that game on a 50-something yard field goal by Nick Folk.
That's crazy.
After getting the ball back with like 9 seconds left, it was the craziest comeback ever.
Remember, it was that down and out to Witten on the. I think it was that game. They stopped the clock in field goal range.
I heard something on the way here. The kicker for who did we just play? The kicker for
Packers.
He had the longest streak of consecutive PATs.
The one that got
Like
blocked.
93. And it was the longest streak.
Wanye took care of that.
Wanye took care of that. It was the longest streak of successful PATs at that moment, and Wanye took care of it.
We also talked about Everson being elevated from 162 senior candidates for the Hall of Fame to 52.
All right.
Yeah, ask him about
And
it.
how we hold 100. Because, I mean, how many times have we been here? Y'all have been here with me like 4 times. Come on, man. I mean, you know.
So he's at 52.
Don Meredith, Harvey Martin, Too Tall, and Leroy.
What's the next stage?
25.
Get down to 25.
And then 9.
Okay.
And then 3. You got a ways to go.
Yeah, that's. He asked me why I don't get excited.
I'm done. I will never ask him another.
He gave me a chance to vent. He let me vent. He asked the question. He threw me a softball. I vented. We're good. We are good.
So it's been a good show, Bill.
I can tell.
Yeah, we
I
had
can't wait
fun,
to go
man.
back and listen to it.
Yeah.
And we're glad in Southlake, you're paying your taxes so the head football coach can make six figures as the head coach. And
most of the coaches make six figures.
And athletic director.
Do they really?
Yeah.
A whole bunch of them. There's a great
The
story.
coach at Lincoln High School is not making six figures.
Jason
Todd ain't making.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Anyway, you ready to take us up out of here?
I think he was in the story, by the way. They did a deal in the Morning News. They did a survey of the North Texas football coaches.
I got to look at that.
And how many of them were making six figures.
Good stuff.
Including either the salary and stipends or whatever else.
Well, man, when you look at Texas high school football, man, I mean, we dominate all over the doggone country.
So you better have.
If you're going to pay some
coach,
coaches
right?
six figures, it should be in this area.
Of all the your teachers and coaches in high school, who had the most impact on you?
Coach Allen Holiday.
There you go.
Yeah, Coach Allen. He was the one that gave me a chance to play my senior year. I hadn't played all year, and he said, "Come on."
Okay, how about you?
Reginald Samples.
There you go.
Yeah,
all
Reginald
right.
Samples.
Yeah,
man.
now at Duncanville.
Steve Miller.
These are all coaches.
He's a coach.
So he had a Steve Miller band?
He was football coach, the track coach, and went on
He
to
didn't
be
get it.
I got it. It was too corny to recognize. Did he have a band?
Steve Miller had
it. Coach Milford, Tom Milford, basketball coach. That's right. Yep. So they deserve six figures.
As he allowed me to play, his final words were, "I don't want no crap out of you." And I was like, "Okay."
Yep.
Well, guys,
mine was I got to play once.
What, football?
We had a bunch of guys hurt, and the coach sent me in. He goes, "Well, at least you know the plays." I said, "Yeah, I don't know how well, but I know the. Oh, I did.
Don't you wish there was huddle back then?
Yeah.
Oh. No, you should have seen the line of scrimmage.
You want to see it?
We had somebody missing at left guard. It was like everybody else.
You played guard?
I came in at guard.
Jesus.
125.
All right. On that note, talk about the easiest sack in America. Mickey Spagnuolo at guard. All right, we out of here. Mick Shots. We had fun. Sit us out.
All right, go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?